With threats of World War III on the horizon, Vladimir Putin is the man who's been stressing out the entire world this year. But on this episode of Luxury Land, let's go deeper into the personal life of the Russian leader and try to answer whether Vladimir Putin is secretly the wealthiest man in the world. If you're new to the land, please feel free to hit the subscribe button and hit that like button as we post luxury content every day in order to entertain and leave you feeling inspired. Vladimir Putin has been the president of Russia for the last 17 years, and he has been the longest serving ruler. His first and second term lasted from 2000 to 2008, and his third and fourth term lasted from 2012 to now. In 1999, Putin served as the prime minister, and before that was a foreign intelligence officer in the KGB for 15 years. Yes, he was the stereotypical Russian spy, and that's kinda cool. On top of this, Putin was voted the most powerful man in the world 4 times by Forbes. As for his income, the Kremlin says Putin takes in an annual income of $140,000, and that must be the most egregious lie in the history of politics. They must really think the world is full of idiots, truly. If you were to believe them, you would think he only owns an 800 square foot apartment in St. Petersburg and a 1,600 square foot apartment in Moscow. Of course, he has way more than that, as you'll see when we dive deeper into his assets, but his true net worth remains a mystery. Some say he could be worth as much as $200 billion, which would make him one of the richest men in the world. His literal profession was to keep Russian secrets for 15 years, so there's a pretty good chance he's good at hiding his wealth too. And you probably wouldn't get it out of him even through waterboarding. But how do you attain great wealth as a president? Well, easy. You just use your government influence to amass great wealth for your family and friends, and in return they'll give you cash gifts and stakes in their companies. Putin has such major stakes in many natural gas companies from doing just that, and his wealth is said to be stored in assets, offshore accounts, investments, and tucked away with family and friends. What's a king without his palace? Not a king. Putin knows this because he owns a 170-acre palace on a ledge above the Black Sea. It's the biggest private residential building in Russia and costs $1.4 billion. This mega house includes 3 helipads, an Orthodox church, gas station, garage, crystal chandeliers, a gym, casino, 11 bedrooms, a $10 million pool, cinema, and way more. He denies owning it, but he's been photographed enjoying the property.
Did you know that I can see you?
Apart from this, the Russian leader has an opulent workplace, the Kremlin. It's made up of 15 buildings and 20 towers. He also spends time in a presidential residence, which is a government-owned suburban home with luxurious rooms and gardens. Add to the list a government-leased apartment in Moscow, the Constantine Palace in St. Petersburg, and the small fact that Putin is rumored to own 20 different homes around the world. And of course, the president has a few luxury cars worth more than his supposed salary lying around. Vladimir has a taste for Soviet-era classic cars, but his main squeeze is the $300,000 bulletproof Russian Rolls-Royce. This bad boy has CCTV, an emergency exit in the back, and is chemical gas attack resistant and resistant to sniper fire. Vladimir knows people are plotting on his downfall, and he's not having it anytime soon. Along with this, Putin has his hands on a ZAZ 968, Mercedes, Formula One race car, and many more exotic whips that are tucked away in his garages. And Putin is not flying commercial. He has been associated with 58 different airplanes. One of them is the $20 million soundproof 19-seater Russell Falcon, complete with an entertainment system. And he also owns an Airbus ACJ 319. But the crown jewel of his planes is the $70 million Flying Kremlin. The 186-passenger plane has an advanced communication system and a golden toilet seat worth $60,000. That's $30,000 per cheek. Good old Vladimir had to get some yachts too. He owns a $1.2 billion mega yacht with a 49-foot pool that converts to a dance floor, and a $100 million super yacht with a helipad and 6 luxurious bedrooms. Don't forget the 177-foot-long Seagull worth $40 million that comes with a swimming pool, gym, and barbecue area, or the Olympia, gifted to him by Chelsea Football Club owner Roman Abramovich, that's worth $35 million. And when you invade countries and threaten nuclear warfare, you have to do it while looking your best. Someone get him a sponsor, that'll be the campaign. Maybe Patek will sponsor him. He was spotted with a Patek Philippe perpetual calendar watch that costs $1 million. Or maybe Bespoke, that crafts his $5,500 hand-tailored suits customized to his liking. Maybe companies like Ferragamo will sponsor him, who makes his shoes. Or maybe the company that makes his $32,000 workout gear. Putin continues to deny his fortune and says that his only wealth comes from Russia's trust in him to lead. If that's the case, after this year, I'm pretty sure you'd be in poverty now, buddy. This was a look into the life of the world's richest president, Vladimir Putin. How long do you think he will stay in power? Let me know in the comments below. And in the meantime, click a video on the screen to watch something you haven't seen. And thanks for visiting Luxuryland.